Okay, so I want to make a video on how I integrated my vue.js front end with my Flask Python project. So I'm in the root directory of my Flask project right now. I'll do an ls, and you can see things that you have in a typical Flask project. So basically what you need to do is, first things first is you need to set up your Vue project. I have mine in client over here, and you need to use the Vue CLI to make your Vue project. Put it in something called client or front end, or you can call the folder whatever you want. And then you need to make a file called vue.config.js. Let me show you what that has in it. Okay, this is very important right here if you want to run it in your Python Flask project. So what you basically need to do is get the Vue CLI to build your index.html file into a folder that's inside of your template. It's inside of templates for your Vue application, or not your Vue application, your Flask application. So we have this going down a directory, and then we're going into the Flask projects templates folder. And then we have another folder called Vue template. And inside of Vue template is where we are putting our index.html, which is the file that Vue CLI will build for us. It's very important to not put it just inside your templates because it will overwrite your other files, your whatever you used. If you use Jinja 2 or if you used straight up HTML for your front end templates for your Flask project, all of them will be overwritten. So make sure you have another folder in there for your Vue index.html file specifically, and I called mine Vue template. This is for output directory right here, and here's the code right here. I will copy this and put it inside the video description, and this should get you going right here. Now for your assets directory right here, this is where your CSS and JavaScript are going to go to. You do not have to worry about it overwriting any files in there. I don't know why the Vue CLI, when it builds your project, it overwrites files for your index.html. I don't know why it does that. Maybe because there's only supposed to be one HTML file in there because you're just building a Vue project. Maybe that's it. Maybe it assumes that you're going to have extra CSS and JavaScript in there. But anyway, assets directory is what you set in your module exports object, and you just go down to directories, and then you go into your static folder, and this will be where your other static objects, static files, CSS, JavaScript, and whatnot will be for your Flask project. And then I am not for sure what I was doing here, and I seriously do not know which one is correct. Public path either needs to be an empty string or it needs to be undefined. So you might have to experiment with that. If you get an error, use one or the other. But you do need to set public path. And then these other things, I'm not sure if you have to set them, but it can't really hurt to do so. I'm guessing like CSS right here, maybe if you use Sass or less or something, maybe you put that in there. I don't know. But you really only need to be looking at this right here. Asset directory, public path, and output directory. And if you notice, I have an if statement here. If you set this up like this, your module exports object in this way, when you try to serve your vue.js project so that you can work on it and you can have it upload every time you make a change to it, it will not work because it will be trying to build it, but it's going to be building it over in here. And it's not actually going to be building anything because it's just serving it. It's just a development server. So what I did is I set a if statement, if process environment not environment equals production, meaning the CLI, the Vue CLI is building it, it's building the production version, then set the module exports object to this. And then that's how I can incorporate it into my project. Every time I do a Vue build or I do a npm run build, this is what it does. And then I have a my path object too, which I had to define for the output directory. Const path require path. And that's basically it right there. This is the file that you need. Let me show you the route that I have in my app.py file, which is the my main Flask project file right quick. Let me bring Adam over here. So after you set that up, then when you build your project using the Vue CLI, it will be building it in the right area. So your JavaScript files will be going to the static folder so that Flask can access them. And your templates will be going to the templates folder inside of the other folder that you created. Do not forget to make a folder inside of your templates because I'm telling you it will overwrite all your other files here. So I'm warning you guys. That's why I'm making this video right now. Is you can find the first part online. I think I found it on Stackoverflow. But I'm warning you guys because if you have an existing file, existing project with Flask, and you did all that Jinja 2 templating and stuff, you're going to lose everything, and then you're going to have to use Git to hopefully go back and get your stuff back. And if you didn't do a Git add, a Git commit, then you lost all of that, which really sucks. So that's why I'm telling you guys to build a folder inside your templates and have the Vue CLI configure it to build index.html in that folder, so it doesn't overwrite everything else. Let's go look at the route right quick. And my application is really messy. I put everything in here, but let's just ignore that. So I have two ways. There's a blueprint you can do from Flask, import blueprint, and all your other stuff as well. You can use blueprint, or you could just use the router that comes with it. You can do for your decorator. You can either do app route and then have I have my Vue front end going at /vue for my URL, and you can make a regular route like this, and you can have your definition here, and then use this return render template index.html because that's what Vue CLI builds. Well, if you're doing this for the route right here, you would have to use this, of course. You would use return render template templates /vue template because that's where your index.html is, and then after that you'll put index.html. If you're using blueprints, Then you can make your blueprint here, call your blueprint function, name it, and then you can specify the template folder in template/view template. And then over here, I also used a try except block right here, just in case it didn't work. So it would give me a 404. That is about it. It's very easy. I mean, this is these two things that you need. It's just you need the route, and you need your config file inside of I can't find it, inside of a client. This one right here. And that's it. And this vue.config.js sits in the root of your Vue project. And then your app.py is also in the root of your Flask project. I also do git init for my Flask project, and then I ignore my client folder. And then within client folder, I also do another init for git as well. So I have two gits right here. So that way I can kind of back up all my saves I make, and I can work on my backend and then push that out to my GitHub, or I can work on the front end and I can serve it as well and test it and keep on building on it, and then I can push that out to GitHub. That's how I do it, and thank you for watching this video. I will also have some code for the config file for Vue, as well as a simple the app route that I have in Flask, so you guys can copy it and do whatever you want with it. Thanks for watching, and that's it. I'm out of here.